Hello everybody. I wanted to move on from the China versus Ethiopia series for a few different reasons. We had reached an awkward point in that series. On the one hand, we were successful at taking some capitals, but I felt it was at the expense of future viability. I would attribute this most to taking the great engineer as a Liberty finish. Had we taken the great scientist, we would have been far more relevant, which would have given us the time to catch up in the honor tree. One of my weaknesses as a Civ player in the past is that I neglected my military, whereas now I look forward to opening my games with something like Scout, Monument, and then into Warrior, hopefully with an Archer follow-up. After all, once your units are out, they can act upon the map, while I'm doing everything else I'd normally be doing. Somebody had recently mentioned to me Raging Barbarians, and I thought that this would be a fantastic excuse not only to make a little military, but to give them something to do in the meantime. Then I got to thinking about how such a scenario might also give us a reason to open up with the honor tree. I've done my share of dabbling with the Liberty tree. On the side, I started playing a new game. It was a reboot of the China game since I had found out a way to turn Raging Barbarians on in the save file. I was instantly having a blast. I never realized how much that 33% strength versus Barbarians would make a difference, because now even a Scout can withstand a Brute no problem and even take on an Archer. As I played it out, though, I figured out another big flaw in the series. See, when I first fell in love with the Liberty Tree, I started playing on larger maps, and the reason for this is because the game tends to give each Civ more room. This can be a problem if you're going for domination, since capitals are mostly going to be further away. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that this is part of the charm and the challenge and enjoyment of such scenarios, but on the other hand, I'm trying to publish these games, so I think for now it might be better for me to hone my skills on a standard size map, and then maybe later, if I get to be more of a pro, we can revisit the possibility of large maps. The really good news in all of this is that when I told the game I wanted to drop down to standard size with Raging Barbarians on, it gave me Germany. Now, I once made a video showcasing how powerful Germany can be at the start of the game because of their unique ability. And we do have to go over it because of the way it's worded here, I think is actually imprecise, if not fully ambiguous. It says, upon defeating a barbarian unit inside an encampment, there is a 67% chance that you earn 25 gold and they join your side. That's not entirely accurate. First of all, you have to clear the camp, okay? And there doesn't have to be a unit in it, but if there's no unit in it when you clear the camp, if this triggers, you'll get a copy of the last unit to occupy it. So you could even clear out the camp and wait for something else to spawn and kind of pick what you want. But just keep in mind it's not 100%, it's only 2 out of every 3 times. Also, it says you have a 67% chance to earn 25 gold. Now, since you always get gold for clearing a camp, this almost reads to me anyways like it's extra, like 67% of the time you get an extra 25 gold and a unit. But that's not the case. You'll always get 25% gold. It's the 67% chance that applies to the unit. You also pay 25% less for land unit maintenance, which is pretty sweet. In the mid game, they have a bank replacement that gives you added production in the city for every trade route connected to a city state. That can be useful. And then they got the upgraded tank in the end game. So let's have some fun, or at least try to, because Germany plus Raging Barbarians plus Honor Opener, it's definitely, we're going to have some military. So let us start here, and this is already looking like a pretty decent city, a good variety of tiles. I'd rather not be on the water, but who knows, maybe that'll be a benefit in the future. I'm going to start with a Scout. We got growth tile here, we'll grow into a good growth tile there. We got a good follow-up tile in terms of having not just 2 food or food and gold. And then we've got 2 unique luxuries, and of course I do have strategic balance on, so there's going to be horses somewhere, and just given that how we're surrounded by forests and hills, it would almost have to be here. So I imagine first tile here, second tile here, third tile here. For that reason, let's try to avoid or delay animal husbandry. Actually, when I saw that I had Germany, I had an idea. Since we're kind of going to be relying on the camps for our military, I want to research archery first. Because, like I said, I do plan on doing Scout into Monument into a military unit, and if that first military unit is an archer, he'll be able to work well with my other units to clear camps that much faster, especially if it's a spearman, obviously. But also because I was reading up on what Raging Barbarians exactly is, and it said something about tax. I'll get back to that in a second. I just want to talk about my strategy here. If we're going to go with the honor, like this looks like it's the end of the road, but if we're going to go with the honor opener, I want to make sure we have visibility on all the land tiles. Yeah, this is very clearly the end of the road, so he's done down here. I wouldn't have like pursued forever because I do want to encircle the city, but since it does look like we were at the end, I wanted to clarify that. Anyways, going back to the archery thing, when I was reading on Raging Barbarians, it said something along the lines of the barbarians that can spawn, because they're spawning so frequently, how did it explain it? It said something about the units that can spawn have to do with whoever has the best technology, like what units they could produce, right? So right, if I understand that correctly, what that would mean is that right now, I'm going to hop up here just to be encircling the city. We found our first camp and the unit inside is relaxed, which means it just spawned this turn. So we might as well slam into it because as Germany, the name of the game, and I know I'm going to catch some flack from this because people talk about like wanting to farm for culture and stuff like that. First of all, we don't even have the honor tree, but even if we did, I don't know that I agree with that approach necessarily, but definitely not as Germany, because the trick is to actually clear the camps. So here we'll slam into this twice, we'll get our bonus, which will allow us to finish this off, hopefully before this throws off another unit. But even if it does throw off another unit, maybe we get a bonus out of this and then that unit can fight while he heals up or something like that. Nevertheless, the point is, the more camps that we can clear, obviously the more gold we'll get, the more units we'll get, and the more we'll be beefy enough to tribute the city-state or take on other camps. So anyways, getting back to why I wanted to choose archery first, the thing I was reading, it said something like this camp had to be a warrior because that's all anybody could produce at the beginning of the game. Now that somebody has researched archery, the camps can be archers, and if we can kill camps and get archers for free, that's going to be even better. Also, in my experimentation with the honor tree opener, I found that growing the city, getting as much science as possible in the early game is very key. Alright, there we go. So that's why I'm researching pottery. My intention is after the archer to build a granary and then a library. That's my intentions. We'll see how it goes, but this is really nice because now he can heal up while this guy can continue whatever scouting this could be. This kind of looks like the end of the road, and quite frankly this does too, but we all know how sometimes the maps kind of open up behind. Like this all looks like coast, so I don't really see how this would have to be something like this, and unless it's a bridge into somewhere else. Anyways, all my units are spaced out well. The scout can be scouting where we know he could be used. Obviously sending him back here might be nice because it looks like there's a lot of rough, but we got an extra unit now. We'll leave that to him. And this way allows us... Oh, okay, so that just finishes pottery up for us. We didn't need the rush because we're going to take the time to build the archer, and while that's happening, research this, then build the granary while this is getting researched. But we're going to keep on cruising. We're going to try and grow this city as high as possible just to get through the text as quickly as possible. I'm just going to heal this guy up in place. He's so low that the trip back is dangerous. We don't have the honor opener yet, and if I do encounter another barbarian, I'd like to be able to withstand it. In fact, that's a good idea too, like be doing this, be healing up while we're waiting for the honor opener. That way if we do encounter something, we'll be at max health. Plus we are relatively far from the city. The time it would take, like healing up is how you tribute. Like when you go to tribute, the military strength has something to do with that, and that's not just the units you have, but also their health. So the quicker this guy is healed up, the quicker we might actually be able to use him to tribute or something. Alright, after we collect this, we'll probably have to start cutting back. I want to have a nice even visibility around the city wherever possible. Like we'll uncover this. We just need to know when barb camps are spawning and how close they are, so that we can chase after them and develop our military relatively passively. So that sounds like a lot of fun to me. Alright, I don't know if that's Ife or Ife or whatever, so I'm just going to call it Iffy, because how to pronounce it is a bit iffy to me, I suppose. Okay. Oh, now that's really nice. The fact that we got that on the actual turn that the city grew. Like, we're running out of tiles that's got food on them. And that's not really a problem. That'll help us. Because when we're working this tile, I mean, it kind of sucks. There's no extra production, so we're not actually increasing our production. But here we are actually getting some gold as well, so that's really nice. Looking good so far. This really is looking like the end of the line. But I'm going to have him press on just for full visibility. Yeah, this might very well be the last tile here. This looks like the end. Yeah. So let's see. On to an archer. And then we can go into granary, into library, hopefully. Let's start cutting back. There's a hill here. Oh. Well, we're on a hill with trees, so maybe they won't shoot. If they do, we can heal up once we're safe and go from there. But if we had the honor opener, this guy could slam into this a couple times and finish it, or if this threw off like an archer, slam into it a couple times. It's not going to be our goal, but it's something that's possible. So if I come up here, oh, there's a hill. I never try to pass up on hills. We'll just do this. We do kind of got to get back over here. This is looking like the end of the line too. So rather than step up on this hill, I'll come here, because this will probably be coast. We'll have to start heading that way anyways. So let's see here. If that is the last tile, there's not going to be any barbarian camps that spawn there. He'll be out in 5 turns. 1, 2. He already moved? Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The warrior could end up here when the archer ends up here. Those two could be working together since this guy's off on the side healing up. I might have him scout down here just in case it is the end of the line. That's an interesting approach, I think. That way that guy can heal up while these two, because all we need is 1 melee and 1 archer, and we can clear just about any camp. It's just a question of, it's going to take 2, 3 turns. But the more we clear, obviously, can't wait for that honor opener so we can start figuring out where the camps actually are and start clearing them. That's one of the downsides. Oh, there we go, right on time. Okay, so this is the coast. We can just start cutting back, do like a counterclockwise slice. And everybody else seems to have pretty well covered. So let's see where they're hiding. Okay, we actually have one near the city. Alright, so for that reason, I'm really enjoying the approach here of just coming back, because it's pretty clear that this is just one tile. Well, it looks like coast here, it looks like coast here, and that's the way the hexes are oriented. So there could be more land back here, but we'd have to cut through all this rough. Like as it is, we hope camps aren't going to be spawning through here too much because of all the rough. In fact, this is going to be a nice area because there's no real reason for anybody to be down here. We haven't found anybody yet, so it's not like they're going to... Oh, that looks like border there. Okay, so we'll start heading that way to find out who that is. So there's probably going to just be a lot of camps spawning right here. We'll just pop it, get out of there so we can't see this area, let another one spawn. And it's looking similar over here, but we don't know what's down here yet, so that might be too soon to call it. We'll find out. I wonder if I actually have to cut through... Oh, wait. No, that's not a hill, so we should be able to see this tile from here. That will be very helpful. Okay, I wanted to cut this way anyways, just because that looks like somebody's border, and I want to find out who it is, and if they have a worker for me. I mean, they definitely do. It's just a question of how easy will it be to take it. Let's come up here. This tile's already developed. So this is a tile that needs to be developed. That's good to know. Okay. So, let's see here. He's pretty much healed up. We'll heal up one more time, only because once this archer comes out, if he's at full health, we're going to be far more likely to be able to tribute these guys. So, let's see. Oh, I got to pass the turn. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He's actually within range. So we could be tributing both these guys right now. It looks like it's just iffy, so that's fine. Yeah, low population. If I remember correctly, they got to be 4 pops. So he's got a couple of good growth tiles. I don't want to hold off on this just because we're going to have units moving away. But I'm wondering why he's not ripe for tribute. 18, 20 overall military power. Now he says 18, and he said, oh, military near city-state 100. Aren't they all 2, 4, 6, 8, 10? I wonder if standard size map it's different. Let's see here. 2, 4, 6, 8. He's 10 away. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, they're both. I'll bet you that's what it is. I'll bet you that's what it is. 2, 4, 6, 8. So I could have these guys move down here and here. And he could move up next turn. 2, 4, 6, 8. So he'd have to move onto this tile, and we should be able to tribute that. Assuming my theory is correct. I'm not sure if this is the place to be testing that. I don't know. Can't hurt anything, I suppose. It's just a delay a game before the spearman gets on with his scouting. Alright, let's go into granary. Yeah. Okay, settler, you don't say. Okay. Well, let's keep our eyes open. Oh, water. Okay. Oh, but there's silver over here. Those borders will eventually grow to that. We should be able to pluck a worker there, if not there. Okay. I don't actually see the worker, though, and I did see a barbarian, so I don't know how... we should be able to trade. Nope, he doesn't have writing yet. Alright. This is unfortunate. We're going to get plinked out. We can defend here while we keep an eye and actually get a promotion, so that'll be alright. Okay, so we're basically testing the theory here. If I step up here, that should make him right for... And it does! Okay, so I thought it was a radius of 10 before, so I'm guessing it's going to be based on map size. So I just learned something. Obviously it's not proven, I'll have to look it up, but I'm guessing that's why it wasn't tributable before. Okay, it's unfortunate he's a warrior, not an archer. But whatever. Alright, how many turns till we grow? 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to animal husbandry so we can find the horse. Like I said, it's almost certainly right there. Yeah, I just now noticed we might actually grow to this cattle at some point too. So we're going to have a good balance of growth, and which is kind of funny because we're not going to have too much military to build. There we go. Okay, this is only 1 food, so I'm going to do that. We lose the hammer, but we'll grow faster, so that's okay. Anyways, let's bombard that guy. Looks like it's going to take 4 hits overall. We'll still get the culture. So, let's see here. I could have this guy come over to help. I guess we should... I don't know where that guy would have come from, so I'm guessing maybe he spawned from this camp and started heading over here because that's the last the barbarians knew we were at. I don't know. Let me find out what's down. Yeah, see, this is starting to look like the end of the road. Because I'm thinking as long as he can glance off of this and block here, and he's not going to come out to here. But if this guy is here, and he does, like, he'll get a flanking debuff. Yeah, if there was a way I could like back off, shoot this, and then step in and shoot that later, but there's not. So I'm gonna attack the mobile one first. Like I said, ideally we want to be clearing camps as often as possible. So it looks like the settler probably went off this way. So we do need to hit the camp rather than the mobile unit, but if we did that, the mobile unit would probably be harassing my archer. I don't even know how much that's a bad thing. With the honor opener and the fact that he's in the trees, that might not have been a bad thing. But we'll find out. Okay, there's a worker. Problem is, if we're damaged when we take it, it's not going to work, is it? Alright, let me back off of this guy. Oh, I get to see where the settler's headed, huh? There's another archer over there, okay. Are they from that camp, or is another one over here? Oh, that's right, there was one there. Okay. Alright, so we should clear this one right now. In fact, if I attack with the warrior first, it looks like he'll be able to sit there, which is better. So I'll do that, even though that means he's going to get a little more damaged. And then he can heal up while I'm shooting on that. There's some culture. Nice. Let's get some eyes over here, and that is clearly the end of the road, so maybe he can come over and help. If there's even help needed, we'll find out, but... Yep, there could be help needed. So, we do not have this yet, but flanking bonuses are still in effect. So let's see, he's poised to do about 43. He's poised to do 100. Do I trust that number? I suppose I could step in and shoot the camp, and that way he will definitely get the flanking bonus. It should be a guarantee. Looks like it is. And now next turn we'll have an extra. That's the one thing about the honor opener. Every time you kill a barbarian, double check to make sure that didn't push you over the next policy. Just in case. Sometimes having the policy sooner is better. I gotta heal up. Hopefully this archer comes down and he'll deal with it, and then I can get this worker when it's coming around the back maybe. Because if we get it on the stone, we're gonna have to... We'll have a pretty easy ride through, but if we get it over here, we'll have to come all the way back. And there's this camp here, so I don't know. Anyways, we get a promotion. This guy's heading over here. I don't know how necessary that is, though, because we might actually finish this off this time, especially with that policy we just picked up. No? Okay. We'll take one more turn. And again, we're not going to bother with farming culture, quote-unquote, simply because we need to clear the camp to get the Germany thing. And more camps will spawn, like we have Raging Barbarians on, right? Yeah, so we don't actually have to worry about clearing a camp, taking away our ability to get culture. We can actually afford to heal up here, because even if he comes to the stone, it's going to take some turns to develop it. And in the meantime, we can just heal up in safety here. Okay, so this camp's gone. The city tile just clears it, and he'll probably kill that, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. But he is encroaching upon us, so if we do want a chance to strike at him first, he'll probably be our first target. We should set up a city in between. If we set up on the ivory, we'll have a good growth tile to start. We'll have another unique luxury because we don't have copper in the capital. We'll grow to the cattle sooner, but I kind of want that to be for Berlin. I mean, we'll use it to get this city off the ground too, but we gotta count off how many units we want to have there and stuff. Did I tell him? I don't think so. Okay. So these guys are going to be clearing this turn. And there we go. Another unit. Very nice. Okay. How close does that put us to military cast? Okay, we still have some time. But nevertheless, let's move our units up, because there will come a point where they'll get over the fact that we tributed them, and we should be able to tribute them again. Already our military is looking almost strong enough. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Alright, so yeah, once we start moving everybody back, they'll be ripe once that negative 300 drops off. So let's see. After the granary's done, we'll be at 5 pop. It'll probably be a good idea to forego the library long enough to build a settler to come over here. That might even be a little too slow. I mean, we're not terribly worried if he settles somewhere over here. Just because we can attack it on our way to his capital. The problem is I want to take less cities, not more, and we'll have to deal with where the AI sets it. Whereas if we set a settler here, we'll have the unique luxury right away. For that reason, we should go ahead and research trapping. Yep. We do not have a worker yet, so I'll probably have one of these guys start heading over here to grab one from Iffy. We're not going to be able to stay at Perpetual War. There's just too much rough here and stuff. But we do have a couple of exposed tiles here, so if we had somebody here, whichever one he chose to develop first, we could be able to snag it. Is that 300 dropped off yet? It has not. Okay. That's fine. So everybody pile in, I guess, till we get a notification. We want to get off of the... We want to be able to see as few tiles as possible so that the camp is more likely to spawn in a place that's beneficial to us. Now, I'm not sure why that worker's standing around. I'm guessing there might still be barbarian activity. It's a toss-up, so I'll just heal one more turn. Be safe. We'll figure out where that worker's going. He's still not feeling safe to come out. Oh, that would be why. Okay. Well, I'm just going to sit tight right here then until I can see how that plays out, because that looks like it might be a worker we can just have. Speaking of workers we can just have, I'll have this guy come up here. It's looking like we're not out of the 300 yet. For all I know, the 300 might last for as long as the anger lasts, but we'll see how that goes. Nothing to do with these guys. Oh, we could start heading for that camp. That's a good idea. Maybe not though, because there's a lot of rough here. I'm just going to defend right here. Oh wait, no, because I can't attack into his territory. Come over here for now. Oh, growth. I don't want to just ignore that. Work the growth town. So yeah, he's coming to get a worker. The problem is if I start heading over here and I get a notification that there's a camp nearby, I would want to go for that because there's a lot of flat land around here. It'd be easier to get to. This is going to be... Oh, plus this is... Well, you know, as far as extracting a worker from out of here, maybe clearing this camp sooner makes sense. I don't know. Again, I want to reiterate, as Germany, we want to clear as many camps as possible. So getting to the ones we can get to quickly. Like, I'm surprised another one hasn't spawned here as it is. Spearman could come up here with the archer in tow. That means we won't be able to get to any one of these camps anytime soon. But there's no camps there right now. This is quite the toss-up. So I'm just going to have them swap places. We'll have the people healing be in the capital, or in the city tiles, so that military caste will give us a bonus for it. There we go. Nice. Okay, that's much better. So we will head out like so. And he's going to keep on cruising. Still doing that 300 thing, huh? Yep. Okay. I suppose I shouldn't be in such a rush. Okay, looks like Archer has been cleared. Hopefully he'll see fit to dangle his worker, and if it's on the stone we can just have it. Although he was healing up that worker, or the warrior nearby, so... Hand axe, okay. This is basically the barbarian version of chariot archer. And the reason why that matters, and is in fact a problem, is because if we use them, they'll get buffs for promotions that benefit archers, but then they upgrade to knights, in which case those promotions are quite useless. For that reason, if we are doing honor and we have military caste, these guys will mostly be our human monuments. So it's not too much of a problem, but it is interesting. Alright, so I do want to build a library, but we kind of have to go settler here. We got some good production tiles for it though, so at least there's that. So there's 9 hammers, 10 hammers, 10 hammers still, 12 hammers. So now the only question is if I drop from here to here, it's 11 hammers. Okay, so we got to go full production. We won't get the max gold, but we're only missing the one. And gold's not a problem right now. There we go, he's on stone. This guy's over the river. He could still come through the city and attack over the river, but we wouldn't be able to steal it from here anyways because zone of control right here from the warrior. So let's come around. And he's on a hill. That's very bad. I'm going to drop down here. The silver's up, so that's something. I don't know how to do this. Like maybe come around. I really want to snag him here. Let's get shot, come around here, heal up. Once this tile is finished, if we swoop in and he shoots us, we can pillage it and move off. Although we'd probably want to move through here. That camp here is actually going to be a problem. But what can you do? Alright. He does not have a worker out yet. But this is right around the time when he would, and there's no barbarians harassing him, so hopefully it won't be a problem. If he targets nearby encampment. Well, I mean, I'll take the faith while I can get it, but they tend not to relax to shoot, but if they do, we'll just pummel on them, so it's not too bad. I'm just going to put him to alert. Alright, we did... Oh, he was actually going to the silver anyways, so this isn't too big of a problem. It just sucks because there's hills here that we could be getting shot at from that we can't even see. So when we do leave here, I mean, we can, I don't know. It's not looking good. We do need a worker, though. I wouldn't necessarily say sooner rather than later because we're going to be settling on the ivory, so the settle itself won't hurt us. But then we'll have 2 cities growing. So we do need to get one other luxury up. Unit needs orders. There we go. Okay, is it too soon to flank? It is. Kind of thinking of doing it anyways. Yeah. Okay, he's just going to sit tight until he puts out a worker. We don't want to, once we take the worker here, we don't want to extract to here. So if we come here, like that takes 2 turns. So I'm thinking about healing him up and wait until this guy's finished. That way we can pillage that tile. He's not going to send the military around here. So that should be easy pluckings. As long as we don't get shot at anything from these hills up here, we'll have to keep an eye on him. In fact, I'll just come back to him so we can do that. Okay, so now he finishes. Oh, hand axe is over here. That's too bad because we could shoot that. We can shoot that though, at least. Alright, so this will be a human monument. Rather have an archer, but you know, whatever. The fact that we're getting units from camps is really good. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on this. Okay, there we go. That's our cue. We got shot though, didn't we? We sure did. So getting this worker back is actually going to be a problem, unfortunately. So we should send somebody over there to clear that camp or assist. It's going to take forever though. That's just the way it's going to be. We'll have the warrior go over there once. Actually, we don't have military cast yet, do we? No, 2 turns. And that gives the hand axe plenty of time to get over. So we'll have this guy come over, help with the worker extraction. Let's see here. We are going to need mining in the capital. So I will take that now. One thing I was thinking of with the honor tree that would be nice is that once you have military cast, the satellite city doesn't have to build a monument first. The person sitting in the borders. Okay, this is certainly going to be better. So let's see here. 12 and wait, hold on. 12 and 4, 13 and 4. Okay, so that's good. This can't be better, right? No, 13 and 4. Right. Okay, because I'm playing the honor tree, I want to go with survivalism because they're already pretty strong anyways. Normally I would take scouting for the visibility, but the map is a little bit smaller. It's standard, not large. Just to show you guys here. Is that, yeah, standard right there. So I'm going to take survivalism. We're going to pillage and then back off like this. And now he can't shoot us, and we should be able to see any barbarian that could shoot us. This guy's heading up. It's going to take some time though. Cut through the horses here. That should be good enough. And then he'll be into military cast next turn. Alright, so not bad overall. I forgot to look for the ship, but that's okay. If he's bombarded, he'll probably take it out. So anyway, since we can't really perpetually war this city-state, I'm just going to take his worker and then make peace immediately. There we go. Make peace. 60 turns, unfortunately, because that means we're not going to be able to tribute him anymore. Anyways, military cast is up. That's happiness, which is good, and it's more culture, which is even better. So we'll have him come in and heal up. Actually, since the settler's about to come out, what I'll do is I'll have the hand axe escort him, and that way the spearman can heal up here. Worker will be back. The archer and the worker or warrior, I keep calling them that, should work together just fine. Extraction. Do I sit here and heal up and wait for him, or do I... With survivalism and being in the rough, we're actually going to be somewhat tanky, at least towards barbarians. If we come like here and there's Persian warrior there, that's going to be more of a problem. That's the downside, at least for me, with the honor openers. You get so used to being strong that you forget that, versus other civs and city-states, that bonus does not apply. Okay, So if we come here, unfortunately the camp's on a hill. We can get shot here, but we can actually take a turn to heal up while the workers coming with us. Warrior's here to provide a little relief anyways. We'll have him start coming over here for the military cast in the new city. These guys just with retreat. So I do kind of have a worker that's coming from the north, therefore I think this worker heading more towards the south would be a good idea. We're going to settle on the ivory, which should be relatively neutral. In fact, we might gain one. Is that right? Where did I come up with that? Was that a Liberty thing? Oh no, it's the actual military cast. So the one citizen will automatically be negated by the human monument. So happiness will actually go up one, I think. So in other words, we have some turns to play with some happiness, so I think it might be worthwhile. Let's go ahead and do this while I'm thinking about it. Almost failed to notice that. So I might have this worker work at the city from the south, because if we can get the horses on the line, that's money we could be making. Obviously we got to meet somebody else or make peace with Darius, but it's just the southernmost tile, so we start here, then do this, then do this. The northern guy can come in and do these, you know, stuff like that. So that is the plan. And it's good to have some visibility in here. We really don't want camp spawning up here because it's all rough. It's just ugly, but you know, if that's the way it's got to be, that's the way it's got to be. In the meantime, we're just going to have this warrior come down like that. I could take masonry, just because we will need to develop the stone. I'm kind of thinking, this is why I was mentioning that the expand doesn't have to start building a monument right away, because it'll have the human monument. If we have it build a library right away, obviously this particular city is going to be focused more on growth at first. So we're not going to get a lot of production here at first, but I do think I want to go for a very early philosophy, get a 2-city national college up since we're playing honor and planning on dominating. But I think we have time for masonry in the meantime, because this city's going to grow once we're done building the settler. Yeah, we'll come over here for extra visibility. Everything's looking good. We did get shot, and that's fine, because he can tank it. And now we'll actually have some visibility on the camp. It is relaxed. We could actually have these two take it on, to be honest. That's one of the reasons I like the honor opener and why I'm choosing survivalism for my scout. Maybe clear that camp with just those two. It's entirely possible. Another camp came up right in our backyard. That's fabulous. Absolutely. But in the meantime, we gotta make sure we fix this up, because we're done. That's the way I would do it. Yeah, 5. Okay, so on to building library. The military's been doing a good job of expanding itself. Okay, worker is probably going to be safe. So I think it was worthwhile to come here like this. Now I don't like coming into the marsh, but with the buff we got, the honor opener, and the first policy we took, I should learn its name, discipline. This is going to be actually a potent combination here. He's slated to do 84, he's slated to do 37. We should be able to clear this camp, and if we can get an archer out of it, it's just going to be that much more amazing. So we'll step forward for visibility. He can't see us from here, but we can see him. I'm just going to sit tight right there. I could chase after the camp now and give up the military cast, or I can wait for the warrior to do it. The downside if we wait is that more units can spawn, but obviously that's not actually a problem. So this archer can come out, peek, and like start shooting. So I think it's worth waiting for the warrior. Alternatively, we could have the warrior cut through here so that the spearman comes out since he's stronger. It is important to keep in mind that you can only get so much experience from barbarians. So in this case, I think I'll give the experience to the unexperienced brute. I also wanted to point out, somebody brought it up to me and I was already thinking of it my own. But the way he worded it was way better than what I was thinking. I've started thinking about cover on my melee, and the way it was explained to me, which I absolutely adored, was he said something along the lines of, I don't want my melee doing damage, I want them taking damage. And if you're dominating a city, obviously that's 100% accurate. So on the melee I will be taking at least cover 1. I don't know about future promotions. Let me know what you guys think, because that might be okay. So in this case, I'm gonna attack with the scout first, just so that the warrior is the one that pushes into the tile. And we did get a free unit, and it's an archer, which is absolutely amazing. This guy's coming through. We're going to move the hand axe here. If he misses a turn on this as military cast, that's fine, but let's make sure this is clean. He's probably going to attack somebody, maybe the archer because he's in the swamp, but we should be able to kill that off too. So this is going really well over there. I'm really glad we got a free archer because that will allow an archer and a melee to be here, archer and a melee to be here. And let me count that off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So we can have a military cast in both city as well as a death squad for the barbarian camps. Okay, just a warrior. Kind of lame, but whatever. We'll get there. Defend. Eventually I will swap him out because the spearman's obviously stronger. That'll allow them to, like if a camp spawns over here while we're doing this one, the ability to bounce back and forth is more going to be the trait of the spearman than the warrior, but we will get there. We will get there. Okay, and this went exactly as I suspected, so we'll do that. I don't think we actually need to, but since the scout's coming down anyways, let's just move him first for discipline's sake, and then keep on moving. Worker's in great shape, so now we can just drop this city. Growth. We're going to build a library right away. Again, we don't need the monument. Obviously, the monument would help us finish the honor tree faster. But here's one of the mistakes I was making with taking the honor opener when I was trying that China reboot, is I always seemed like I was ready to leap too quickly. So here's the plan, and you guys let me know what you think about it, because I'm going to wrap up this segment soon. After masonry, we'll have all of our home techs finished for the time being. So go into philosophy, we'll have the library up around that time, because keep in mind the city is going to grow and stuff. We'll grab that tile in 8 turns because the human monument, that's awesome. And then after that we'll come into construction, so we have our archers turn into composite bowmen, and then we'll start going bronze working into iron working. Once we have swordsmen and composite bowmen, and keep in mind with the National College the science is going to be up. We should be coming close to completing the honor tree. I'm actually going to take this policy next. We don't have a reason for a great general yet, nor a reason for the production bonus. We're going to be passing the threshold of needing reduced upgrade money. We got lots of money, but still we're going to pass this threshold first, and then right around the time our units are marching we should be able to have that. That's the plan. Obviously it relies on killing a lot of barbarians, but I have every intention of doing that anyway, so we will do that. This camp should be ready to throw off a unit here soon. I'm hoping it will. In fact, maybe it throws off a better unit than the brute, and then we let it occupy the camp so we can clear the camp and have a chance at that unit. So that's always a possibility too. In the meantime, it might be worthwhile to put a farm up here. Oh wait, we could have them come over here and help this city. Like put a hammer down here, because this is a tile we're going to be working. We don't need the happiness right away. So yeah, he'll come over, put a hammer down here. By then this will be on our borders. We'll put a hammer here, farm here. This guy should be well on the way to hooking up the capital. So I think that is the plan. We'll have the scout. The scout's actually going to land on here in 2 turns, so we'll let him do the do that, because all these guys got to heal. Surprised he hasn't asked for peace yet, because that's something I want to do. Because that plan I was just talking about is so drawn out, if we can get a caravan after the library and actually send it to them. Oh, this guy wants to fight, eh? Yeah, okay. I'll take another one of your units before I declare peace, if you'll let me. Is it worth it? He won't be able to step and shoot. Alright, we're just going to ignore him. From this hill I can shoot either one of these, I believe. Let's test that theory. I think it'll let me test it. Yeah, so by us moving along with our plans, if he does make the mistake of stepping towards us, we'll just annihilate him. In theory. So, because I kind of want to get a piece. Because what I was saying is after the library, we should have time to actually build a caravan, send it here for the extra science that'll help us get to our goals. Because that's one of the problems I was doing earlier, was that I was when I was testing the archery, is I just kept wanting to go because I could, and you know that you got to get all your ducks in a row here first. Let's refuse it for now, see what he does with that unit. Okay, so in this situation, I think waiting for this to respawn is a good idea. We sat here and plinked at it for a few turns. It didn't actually spit anything out. And it might actually be better, and if not, in this case, it's actually worth to quote-unquote farm the culture. Not over and over, but just let it respawn. Whatever spawns here has got to be better than a brute, or, you know, even if it is another brute, we get the culture, so... either way, let's go ahead and take him up on that piece. We can try to get a little gold out of it. Nah, alright. We'll go ahead and just do that then. Alright, so he's going to be healing up in borders. He's going to be... Let's have him back here in case we need him to go somewhere else. We'll have these guys heal up here. They can be a death squad for this city, and he can be the human monument. Once the scouts healed up, we'll go scouting again. We will wait for this to clear, or repop I should say. I'll go ahead and move in just because why not, right? Alright, so there we go, there's that. Oh yeah, I should have done that, huh? And checked for if there was stuff he might want to trade. Okay, and there we go. And a new camp spawned up too. Oh, right where the old one was. I think that was where the old one was. So once these guys heal up for a turn, we'll send them back out. Meanwhile, he's just going to chill. Put a hammer in over there. Let's see, he just got started. So yeah, now this is a lot better because I don't know that we will get it. Oh, we did, and it's an archer, so that's fantastic because we're up to 3 archers and 2 melee. That's better. So I am glad that I waited for this. Again, the circumstances was because we plinked at it for a while, we hadn't seen it spawn anything. We were pretty sure it was going to spawn something else, and it was just going to be a brute or better. So this way, the wait, we got the extra culture, which I wouldn't recommend on an ongoing basis necessarily, but this time we did get the archer. I hope that's clear. I hope you guys agree with that, but if not, let me know, because I want to learn from you guys too. Anyways, I am going to end this here. I think we accomplished a lot. I wanted to make this one a little extra long just because I had the intro to get through, and anyways, it's a blast. I mean, look at our military already. I mean, we've been multiple tributes, so we got the gold. We're losing out on gold, and that's another reason why I want to start heading towards trade route, and also because I want to get as much science as possible rolling in the early game so that moving forward, because after this trade route expires, we don't see another trade partner, and we might have to send it to Hong Kong. But that's a good practice to get into, because later on when we get banks up, that'll add production in the city. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me. Please leave all of your comments below as far as what you think about the reset, about if this is not a worthwhile approach overall. Again, the difference is dropping down to standard, Raging Barbarians, Honor Tree. I'm having fun thus far, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.